Okay, y'all. So we are at week 8. Week 8. We're almost there. And our concept for this week is champions have coaches. So for those of you who are just joining us in week 8, I am Dr. Anise Mabry. And for the last 7 weeks, I've been sharing with you words or concepts or ideas of how to become your own comeback champion in 2021. So let me tell you something. 7 years ago, when I launched my podcast network, I found a site called Fiverr. And there was a service provider on Fiverr who offered business coaching for $12. I'd used them a couple of times when I was trying to write my business plan for the podcast network, because I finally realized, like halfway into it, that what I was doing was more than a hobby, and I really didn't know what to do, so I hired a business coach for $12. Keep that in mind, y'all. I hired a business coach for $12. Now, I'm a firm believer that you are who you are connected to. So I wanted to make sure that all of the hosts on my network had access to this business coach too. And I had 7 regular podcast hosts and 7 podcast co-hosts. So I paid for all of them to have a 30-minute session with this business coach. Everyone thought I was insane for doing this. And I couldn't explain why I was doing it. I just knew that I had to do it. And from that day to this one, I have always had a business coach. In 2020, during a pandemic, my nonprofit foundation secured more than $130,000 in grant funding, and it's now on an angel investor shortlist for a 3-phase, $3.2 million community investment project. Let that sink in for a moment. $130,000 in grant funding, $3.2 million 3-phase community investment project in a pandemic. Now, none of this happened by accident or because, oh my gosh, Dr. Mabry's so lucky. No, I'm not lucky. I worked my ass off to get here. But it happened because I made an investment in hiring a business coach. And actually, I'm going to be real with you. I don't have just one business coach. I have 3 different business coaches. Dr. LaCara Foster, she's my spiritual business coach. She's kind of the one that gives me the bird's eye view of, hey, this is what you need to be focusing on. Renee is my fast forward reading program coach because I am the only fast forward services provider for Southwest Georgia. And then I have Ty Boone, who is my nonprofit development coach, because most people don't realize a nonprofit is a business. It just simply doesn't have a profit at the end of the year on paper because you're reinvesting your profits back into the business, but a nonprofit is still a business model. It is. Champions have coaches, and coaches, again, help you see the big forest, because when you're doing the work, you're only looking at the trees. Now, you can check out my coaches, and then you can also come to the Comeback Champion Summit, and you may connect with a coach there that you want to work with. But one thing I want you to do is dismiss that voice in your head that's saying, I can't afford a business coach. Because remember, a couple of weeks earlier, we talked about your words having power. So if you're saying that I can't afford this or I can't do that, then guess what? You're not going to be able to do it. You can afford anything that you want to afford. Remember, I got my first business coach on Fiverr for $12. So y'all know the routine. Join me at the Comeback Champion Summit. The link is below. Click the link. Get registered. I have 100 free tickets. That's all I got. Not 101. 100. Click the link. Get registered. And the life that you change might just be your own.